Hello YouTube, how y'all doing? It's your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, the channel where I rant and I review. A lot of people ask, hey Unc, what ended the golden age of video games? Man, a combination of shit, man. You know what ended it? When you was not able to take your cartridge or your CD over your friend's house and play it. Now you cannot take games over somebody else's house and play them. You got to take the whole damn console over there to play it. Because what? Games only download to one system? I don't know if, that's a thing, or if they allow, certain things to happen, man. That's the way I'm looking at this, man. My whole thing is, what made this fun to me was the prices, the availability of the games. You were able to go everywhere and find games. Garage sales, yard sales, thrift stores, Salvation Armies, just everywhere. Even the damn brick and mortar stores. You were just able to go in there. Then you had stores like KB Toys and Toys R Us, Woolworth, all these damn stores who threw sales on video games all the damn time. And you were able to find some stuff that you've been looking for. And you just sitting there like, damn, okay, I'm just having fun. It was exciting. The community was so for you. Everybody wanted to see you win. Then, the thought of reselling creeped in. And this is what killed it. People seeing that there was money to be made on this. And people were out there just shopping and buying everything in bulk. You had people all over YouTube laughing at people for spending too much. Man, that game, I got Chrono Trigger for 50 cents, And I'm sitting here like, okay, that's good. But why is all of this animosity, this audacity that you sitting here having towards other people? Like, they wrong for spending money. Now I got to pay $20 for a game, man. $20 for Super Mario 3, man. That ain't right when I used to buy it for 50 cents. Bruh, that age is over. That era is over. A lot of people killed that. You can't get mad because people helped kill it. Bragging about what they're getting, then telling people, how much, they gonna sell it for right at the people damn table. Do you know how bold that is? You know how gangster that is? Now people sitting back like, if they got a crate of games, they like, I hit a goal, man. I could sell this shit on eBay or whatnot. I could just, put any price I want, on Facebook Marketplace and sell this damn stuff. And people are not the wiser, man. Think about it. My friend found, Super Mario Odyssey. Not this one. This is mine. He found his at a yard sale for like $2. I said, man, that's a deal and a half. And not just the empty case. It was the game inside. He found a lot of other stuff. And I'm looking at it just like this, man. People don't understand the greed of people. People say, man, I bought a whole lot and I sold all the rest of them and I kept 2 games. You see what I did? Yeah, you resold. And that's what killing the community. You reselling. Bro, let somebody else buy it. That's the whole thing. Everybody got to have every damn thing. It's like if you see 4, clearanced out Nintendo Switch games. And they have them a lot. Like they don't sell, they clearance because they're getting rid of all the physical copies now, just about at your Walmarts and Target. They had some games for $10. By the time I got there, they were gone. But my friend told me he picked up 4 copies. But his 4 copies he picked up, he wasn't reselling. He gave each one to like a relative, like, his nephews and stuff. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, that's cool. I'm like, I'm just sitting here trying to understand why people are trying to think it's some mysterious thing that killed, video games, man. For one, they're overpriced now. Shit. Like I said before in another video, they're $100 damn. That's killing every damn body. Anytime that Grand Theft Auto 6 is on cost $150, you think that's saving the community? Hell no. 99 for digital, you lost your mind. That shit is gonna stay over there. I'm not buying that. Dude, I'm not one of those people that don't go broke buying no damn game. Come on now. Make it make sense. And people like, man, see, it's people like you, man. You're not a purist. No, I'm not a purist. I'm somebody who think about all this shit. You gotta think before you do this. I used to look at a lot of YouTubers and, a lot of them said, hey, look, man, look, I'm not a completionist anymore. I had, the complete NES, the Super NES, I was listening to people say this. They had the complete Sega and Sega Genesis collections. They had all of these N64 collections and, the GameCube and all that. And, and they said, look, I had to sit back and think of this shit. They said, I wasn't playing all them games. I got all these high-priced games in here, and I'm not playing none of them. I sold them. And you know what? I was listening to them say that. I understand and respect that. You know what? What's the purpose of having a collection? Man, I got all bangers. Do you play any of the damn games? Do you enjoy the game? Is it a good game? Oh, man, it ain't a good game. Then why would you spend $1,000 on a game that ain't no good? Come on, make it make sense. I understand we all want to sit there and puff out our chest and shit, man, but that's what's helped killing the community, man. You know what? Then, like I said, all these buy lists out here, people buying up the shit left and right. People out here now who are just regular people, they're looking through garage sales and thrift stores and all this stuff, Salvation Armies, to just buy the stuff and sell it to the people with the buy list. Dude, can't get mad at them. Dude, one thing that I've been looking at is a lot of people don't understand. Collecting is a choice. It's voluntary. You can quit at any time. And see, that's the thing that people don't understand. Shit, you can quit for a couple of days. You can quit for a month. You can quit for 2 months. Oh, man, but see, it should be permanent. No, you quit when you feel like it and you come back when you feel like it. This is the real world. You get to choose what it is that you want to do. People make it seem like there's no choice. There are choices. And the choice is right now is you make one. And I'm looking at the fact that, hell, a lot of video game collectors, as I know, they're cutting it out. They're letting it go on Whatnot and eBay. But they telling me they can't sell it on eBay because they ain't making no money. eBay taking all their clout, all their money, all their loot, taking it all. Now, Whatnot and Facebook Marketplace, those are some places where you can still win at. And see, this is what people trying to do right now, win. Pandemic was the perfect time to unload your collection. Right now, I don't know about that for video games, man. People are like, oh, man, they bouncing back. Yeah. But you know what? It done lost the sting. A lot of Generation X is starting to back up. I don't want to collect no more. Okay, so that's something that you need to look at. If Generation X is tired, guess what? That's it. Generation X grew up with a lot of these retro games, and if they done with them, that's it. I know there are other collectors that came after that, other generations, but guess what? Generation X was the one buying all this stuff. Like they were buying all these action figures that they grew up with. The nostalgia factor. When you was a kid, you couldn't afford this. Now as a grown person, you got money, you got means, you got a place. You can buy stuff and put it. You got space. When you was a kid, you had no space. You had whatever your parents had for you. And that's the way it went. But now, see, that's the thing that I explain to people. Me as a collector, I'm something totally different. Dude, if I jump off into video games, dude, I got over 500 damn games and was collecting for a little while. And I'm trying to figure what everybody else doing. Dude, they got lots all over the place. And they're not expensive. But see, that's the thing that people don't understand when collecting. You want all the bangers. And see, that's the thing that drive up them prices. You want all those clout games. Everything. Oh, man, I got Earthbound, Chrono Trigger, Musha for the Sega Genesis. And, I got, this, I got that, And you're sitting there. I got Lords of Thunder for the Turbo Duo, man. You know what? I love the Turbo Duo, bro. Come on, man. I got, man, from Toys R Us, like when it was like done, it was like a Toys R Us in downtown Chicago. The guy had them and he said, man, I got one. I'm gonna buy one myself. He said, I'll sell it to you for $99. I came down there that day and bought it for $100. At the time, my girlfriend that I was with, she was like, I wouldn't buy it. I bought it and enjoyed the hell out of it. That's the thing about collecting, man. Collecting costs. It's not free. When you find deals, you get them. This is why I'm saying, if you look for deals, you can find them. But you got to look. You got to put some work in. How you think people are picking up this stuff? They looking. But you know what? You got competition. That's the problem. There's so much competition from resellers and collectors. So you just sitting there like, I'm gonna do. It's so many people. Who am I competing against? You competing against every damn body. Remember, this is a global market now. It's not just the U.S. where you selling games to people here. People from other countries are buying U.S. games. Why? Because it's a lot of clout saying that you got games. You got a whole complete U.S. PlayStation 1, collection, or GameCube collection. You know what? Look, I buy consoles, man, but I wait. I remember when the Sega Saturn first came out, I bought it. When the PS1 first came out, I bought it. But you want to know something? I should have waited. Because the Sega Saturn had a lot of glitches in it. PS1 had a lot of glitches in it. Like I said, you got to give them time to work the kinks out, man. But you know what? How do you fix this shit? It's hard to fix, man. Nobody said nothing for so long as those prices went up. Nobody said nothing. And they say, oh, you can still find retro games at GameStop. Yes, you can. Certain GameStops. The thing that I'm looking at is, bro, at this point, do I really need any of them? I'm like, shit. At this point, man, look, if I'm going to buy some more games, man, I'm going to buy the stuff I want, man. Like I said, man, I went and started getting into the N64 again. I sold my whole collection at one point in time. Like 2 or 3 times. And man, like I said, I wanted to get off into something else. And this is some of the reasons why a lot of collectors kind of fade away, man, because they start as a hobbies. I was watching this one guy that used to do video games. That was his thing, bro. This brother could find video games any damn where. Then one day, he showed his motorcycle. I never forget it. He showed his motorcycle. Showed him riding his motorcycle. That video, I think, got like over 100,000 in one day. Riding his motorcycle. Dude, do you know the channel changed after that? All those other videos that he had of video games and stuff, he removed that shit and just started over just with him riding his motorcycle, talking about the motorcycle. And his channel grew. It was another cat that was doing video games at one point. Then he started doing cars. Dude, he was just talking about a car one day, and all of a sudden, he was there. But to later, fam, thanks for watching. Peace out.